Hello and welcome to week 12 of digital and social media marketing. This week we'll be focusing on digital strategy. So we will be looking at several things this week. First of all, the strategy framework, the application of the framework, channels and tactics, and then last of all, resource allocation. So we have several learning objectives. The first one is to explain how digital marketing strategy relates to marketing strategy and marketing execution. Second, determine the importance of demand generation, demand harvesting, and customer relationship management. 3, identify how to allocate marketing resources effectively across different digital marketing channels. And last of all, discuss how to engage in long-term profit maximization budget allocation. So digital marketing has been using many different channels and many different platforms. And businesses that utilize these mediums effectively are likely to improve their performance. Using them well can improve your return on investment and return on advertising spending. Yet, businesses do not have unlimited resources. So as digital marketers, we need to make decisions about what we should be doing and what we shouldn't be doing. We can't be doing everything at the same time. So to help us with that, we need to be strategic about what we want to achieve, our strategic objectives, but also about what we're prepared to spend, what resources we're prepared to allocate to achieve those objectives. Now, listing objectives is not really a strategy, and it's not a strategy at all. It's just a simple plan or a wish list. And I see this a lot happening in business where they do their strategic stuff. They're like, well, we want to do this, we want to do that, want to do that, want to do that. But unless you actually say we're prepared to spend this much money, we're going to put this team to that, you're basically just creating what you want to do, but you're not actually being strategic about what you're doing it. Now, a key way to check this out is when you have a strategic objective, it means you're going to allocate resources to achieve that, but it also means that you're not going to do other things, right? So if you're going to be focusing on increasing brand awareness, it means you're not going to be doing brand penetration or something, or market penetration. Like there's different competing strategies and stuff like that. If you're going to achieve one thing, it means you're not going to achieve the thing that's next to it, right? We might say we want to achieve both of those things, but then you need to allocate resources to both of those things. And that's the way marketing strategy works, or business strategy works. All right, so to help us with this, we have a strategy framework, which helps us understand the context and the way in which we can make these strategic decisions. So let's have a look at that first. So we'll start by going, well, what is digital marketing strategy? And it consists of two things: a selection of digital marketing tactics. And tactics are basically things at the lower order than strategic activities. So the tactical ones are mainly the activities that you do in achieving goals. It's more of the doing stuff. And then allocation of budget across these tactics. Now, we need to fit digital marketing strategy within the context of the organisation and organisational strategy. So first of all, the business will have its organisational strategy. And in big businesses, it happens all the time, right? So you have an organisational strategy and the organisation's heading in that direction. Now, each department then develops its own departmental strategy, especially marketing. So you have a marketing strategy saying, well, to achieve that business strategy, that organisational strategy, the marketing strategy is going to be doing these things, these activities, right? So we're going to be focusing on increasing customer satisfaction. We're going to improve customer service. We're going to do all these different things, and that's going to contribute to the organisation achieving its strategy. And then under that, the digital marketing strategy, well, the digital marketing team will have their own strategy which supports the marketing strategy. So if you're coming up with a digital marketing strategy, it needs to be able, it's specialised, and it needs to fit in with each of the strategies above it. All right. If you come up with your own digital marketing strategy and go, oh yeah, I want to do this and this and this and this, which is fine if there's no organisational strategy, but most of the time you'll be operating within an organisational strategy, and the goals that you're setting, the objectives that you're setting to achieve, they need to be aligned with the organisational goals. And if it's not, we have this strategic misalignment, and then it's become very inefficient because different people in the organisation are trying to do different things. All right. Now, digital marketing strategy is effective only if the following two conditions are met. First of all, the digital marketing tactics are being executed with competence. So that means at a strategy, we're going to go, right, we want to achieve these objectives. Now, think of it from a military perspective. That's why I've got this military guy here. strategic management developed out of strategic warfare. After the Second World War, a lot of the generals and stuff came back to America and developed countries, and they went, well, the skills that we've learned in the military we can apply to business, right? And businesses are very competitive, so it kind of fits. Now, if you say our objective is to take that hill, you might have the resources to be able to do that. You've got the tanks and the infantry and stuff like that to do it, but you're really relying on the competence of your army to be able to do that. All right. So if your army is incompetent, and you go, we're going to do this, and that should be enough tanks to do it, that should be enough infantry to do it, that should be enough cavalry to do it, right? So you send the tanks and the ASLABs and the infantry and the grunts and all that stuff out there, and then they don't know what they're doing, and then you can't get your objective. Right, so from a digital marketing perspective, that means that the people that we're employing need to be able to do digital marketing. So if you've got a really good digital marketing strategy, but your marketing team doesn't know how to do digital, it's not going to work, all right? Now, the overall marketing strategy is effective. So the second condition is that the overall marketing strategy is effective. Because remember, digital marketing strategy sits under that one. And then the individual tactics are being executed and continuing to be executed. So if they're not doing it, basically, it's not aligning with the marketing strategy, and you're saying we need to achieve this. We need to, focus on our populous social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that, and avoid the more younger, trendy ones. But then your digital marketers are like, oh no, but TikTok's all the rage, and we want to be on Snapchat. So if they're not following the strategy, then the strategy's not going to be effective, and it needs to align with the overall organisational strategy. Because if your organisation is trying to position itself in the market to a younger demographic, like younger target markets, but then you're pursuing digital marketing tactics in the platforms where there's older people and are more mature markets, then there's misalignment there as well. All right, so long-term performance of an organisation is dependent on maintaining a strong market position. So this is not like a short-term thing. Strategy is thinking years, like 2, 3, 4, 5 years into the future. And that's why most strategic plans are, listed as strategic plan for next year or for the next 3 years. All right. So the digital marketing framework, the definition of marketing is produce offerings that have value for customers. So when we've got this framework, we've got to think, well, what's the purpose of what we're doing? And I've forgotten to put this in-text citation here, but this is from the AMA. Marketing is activity, set of institutions and processes for creating, communicating, delivering and exchanging offerings that have value for customers, clients, partners and society at large. We emphasise here, marketing is the activity, like a process that we're doing, at exchanging offerings that have value for customers. So what we're really trying to do is create customers and provide value to them in the marketplace. So the process of creating customers then, whether it's new customers or keeping customers, is first of all demand generation, where we want to increase the demand in the market. Demand harvesting, where we go, well, people actually want to buy our products, but we want to make it as easy for them as possible to do it. And last of all, increasing loyalty through customer relationship management. Now let's have a look at those in a bit more detail. So demand generation consists of market activities that increase a desire for a product. Now you can have two types. You have product-centric demand generation, you have brand-centric demand generation. If it's product-centric, you're obviously focusing on the car, and it's like, I really want to own a car. So then the marketing is about increasing the desire for that product category. Such things as like, having a car would be great. At the moment you're riding your bike, that's boring. Get a car, cars are awesome. So it's about the product category. Or it could be like all sorts of things. It could be about, mobile phones. It could be about new tools that are coming onto the market. It could be all sorts of things, right? Now, product categories, normally when you are dominant in that product category, or if it's a new one, like if it's a new product that's been coming to the market that people don't know about yet, right? So you want to advertise and promote the demand for that particular product category. Now, brand-centric is a little bit different, especially for saturated markets. So if you go, increase the desire to own a car, but that's not going to help your business very much because the new car market's quite saturated. If it was, say, like a new electric car, it might make sense because Tesla kind of dominates that space. So Tesla might be, which they don't for some reason, which we can get into a whole bit later, but Tesla aren't really promoting, buy an electric car. primarily because they can't keep up with demand at the moment, right? So they don't really want to do demand generation. Now, brand-centric is where, I don't just want a car, I want that particular type of car. I really want that Ford Fiesta car. So you're promoting the product features compared to relative competing marketing offerings. So that's demand generation. The other main one is demand harvesting. Now, demand harvesting consists of activities that increase the likelihood of customers actually purchasing these products. Now, these customers already have the desire and the money, so they got demand there, intention, but they want to buy it, and they have the money to buy it, whatever product you're particularly selling, right? But what we want to do then is make it as easy for them as possible to get them over the line, right? So they actually act on their desires, they actually commit, and they take the final steps in the consumer decision-making process and make that purchase. You might go, well, obviously if they have the demand there, if they have the desire and the money to buy the product, they'd buy it. Well, not necessarily, because there's especially convenience products, or sometimes you go, I should really get that, and thinking about this, and we all have this list of, products that we should probably that we would buy under the right circumstances. So your car might be getting old. You go, I really need to get a new car sometime into the future, and you can go talk to the bank manager, get your loan sorted out, and it's something that you know that you need to do because your existing car's not going to last forever, but it's not happening right now. So you have the money. The bank manager is going to give you the money, and you have the desire. You know that you need to have a new car, but it's just not happening because life gets in the way. So situations like that where marketing people go, well, hang on, come talk to us about finance. We can help you with finance, and we've got a really good deal at the moment for the car. So it's only going to take you 1 hour. Come in here, test drive it, whatever. So really, what they do is trying to harvest the people that are at that stage in the consumer decision-making process. All right, now the last one is customer relationship management or increasing loyalty. This is when you have a customer, you've made a customer, and your customers are coming, but you want these customers to keep coming back. So the goal of marketing is to generate loyal customers that trust business. When we talk about customer relationship management, at the very middle of that is trust. Well, there's actually two things, trust and commitment, but we're trying to simplify it in this lecture, so we're just going to focus on trust. And trust is a very powerful thing. It's what somebody expects you to do based on your previous performance or your previous behavior. Either that's things that you said or things that you've done, all right? Now, customer loyalty is influenced by customer experience, so whether they have a good experience or a bad experience, both during the purchase. So we'll stick with the car bit for a minute. So if you're buying a car, the actual process that you go through buying the car is really important, because if they don't treat you right and are difficult to deal with, you're just going to be like, you know what, we'll do this another time, or instead of getting a Toyota, I'll go get a Holden or whatever, right? But then also after the process, because these post-purchase behaviours have a big impact on our likelihood as customers to purchase again. And I've got Coca-Cola here because this is one of the brands with the highest companies with the highest brand equity. And there's a lot of people that are loyal to Coca-Cola, and that's what they drink. So they want a soft drink, the first thing that they think of, and the one that they prefer is Coca-Cola. Right, now, the customer experience, so if the customer experience exceeds the customer's expectations, we call this positive disconfirmation, the customer satisfaction actually increases. And customer satisfaction is a key indicator of customer loyalty. They are different concepts. We've done a lot of research in this in marketing at the moment, trying to understand and unpackage how customer satisfaction and customer loyalty work together. They're very closely related, so it's hard to distinguish them, but they are different concepts. So from marketing, we know we need customer loyalty, and we know a good way to get loyalty, like loyal customers that keep coming back and they want to purchase with us again, repeat purchase intention. We want them to be satisfied, and the way we want them to be satisfied is we manage their expectations so that they're realistic, and then we ensure that their service experience or their customer experience meets that expectation. So therefore, digital marketing strategy is about building customer loyalty. And let's have a look at that in the next slide. So we've got a model here. This is from the textbook. We have potential customers in dark and non-potential customers in light blue. Now, potential customers are those that will purchase the product, whatever you're selling, whatever you're doing, will purchase your product under the right conditions. So if it's the right price, it's easy enough to do, all that stuff that they will buy. Non-potential customers are people that are seeing your advertisements. They have no intention to purchase, right? So someone that loves Pepsi isn't going to see an ad and go, now I'm going to buy Coca-Cola, and vice versa. Someone that likes Coca-Cola isn't going to go and buy Pepsi, right? Now, it's the same with cars. If you really like Holdens, you won't see a Ford ad and go and buy a Ford. And if you really love Ford, you're not going to go buy a Holden ad, right? So people often misunderstand this, but the power that we have, the influence that marketing people have over our customers isn't that powerful that we can make them do things. We influence them to purchase things when they're already thinking about, already have the attitude, a positive attitude, an orientation, a positive orientation towards purchasing that product in the first place. Right, so we've got this model, the AIDA, the AIDA model. We've been working with this for a while. So we've got attention, interest, desire, action. And once the customer goes, the ad catches their attention, generates their interest, they see the benefits compared to the costs. So they actually desire that product, they want to purchase it, and then they actually go through the process and then they buy it and they become a first-time customer, and then we want to keep them and change them to loyal customers, so they repurchase again. Now, at the first two parts, at the beginning of this model, attention interest is about demand generation, but actually getting them from their interest, converting the interest into desire, so they actually want the product, and then action, so they actually buy the product, is demand harvesting, and then turning first-time customers into loyal customers is about loyalty building. And the digital marketing channels that we have to do that are search engine optimization, paid search, email, social media advertising, social media posting, like organic stuff, and display advertising. So the digital marketing framework, so in these digital marketing channels within this framework, they are used to create loyal customers. So that's kind of the goal. And I started this section with that about, my going on about the importance of loyalty and stuff like that. So the objective here is to make loyal customers. But how do you make loyal customers? It's quite a process to go through, right? So the channels are matched to the three marketing efforts: demand generation here, demand harvesting, and action. And I've kind of explained that. Now, it's important to remember, not every customer is a potential customer. So you're going to be communicating with some people, or when I say communicating, you're going to be advertising to. So think if you're doing display ads, they're going to be some people that are going to be seeing your ads that have no intention to purchasing, and that's absolutely fine, right? We're going to look at that a little bit more as we go along. As we increase our targeting abilities, we can actually adjust that ratio so there's more interested people than not, but we need to be wary that not everyone is going to be a potential customer, and neither should they, because that's the whole reason why in marketing we develop these target markets, so that we can focus on the customers that are most valuable to our business. The other concept with that is not every customer is a loyal customer. So just because somebody buys once, don't spend all your time and effort converting them into a loyal customer, because they just might not be that. They just might not be in that situation for that. So this is the framework that we're using, and now the next part we're going to look at applying this framework.